Hello everybody, I'm Antonia and this is Noel and we are from Boxtail Soup Theatre Company and we are back in our studio, which is very nice. We had a lovely month in Edinburgh, and what's always really weird, I think I said this on Instagram yesterday, but is how when you get back, it feels like the festival was about a year ago and you've only really been back. We've been back only a week, or less than a week. We hadn't even
got back.
We were driving home still. Last
week.
So it's crazy because it does just seem like it was absolutely like another world and another life.
I think it's such a world unto itself though. Such a kind of self-contained thing.
Yeah.
That it does feel like another time altogether.
It's definitely the perfect length, the Fringe. You get to that sort of point towards the end when you realise you're starting to feel actually quite tired. And tired sort of generally, because it's quite overwhelming, isn't it? So you sort of...
Yeah, there's always a lot going on and there's a lot to see and there's a lot happening around you all the time. There's always a lot of people around when you're actually, in the centre of it all. So it's not just doing the show.
No.
Obviously that's tiring in itself, and then there's all the stuff around that in terms of promoting it and checking on the tickets and trying to get things moving and get things sold and so on and so on. But yeah, just the festival itself is...
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wonderful, but it is a lot. So you're always ready, in a good way, I think though, you're ready to come home. You feel like, yeah, that was a great length, I really enjoyed myself, and now it's home time. So we're back. And we had a couple of days of sort of recovering, as it were, and then we got straight back into sorting everything out for our autumn tour, which is coming up, Squeaky, coming up at the end of the month. So we start at the Everyman Theatre in Cheltenham, and then we kind of go on from there, and we're touring, I think it's about 6 weeks, or something like that in total. We're touring Gulliver and The Wind in the Willows, and so we've just spent an hour or so taking trunks to and from the studio just to see whether we can definitely fit both shows in the car. And the good news is we can.
Along with the people and
yes, or
their
that is
luggage.
It. Yeah, exactly. Luckily, I mean, we say, don't we, no one's allowed to take very much of their own personal luggage.
No,
ever.
travel light.
But that's fine. But it does fit, so that's brilliant. Which just means now that we've got the stuff in here. Willow's last was out, I think, in well, actually, we were trying to remember, but I think the last performances of The Wind of the Willows we did were on the South Bank in 2018.
Possibly,
I think, in the Spiegel tent, so when Underbelly had their festival on the South Bank there. So it hasn't been out for a while. There's definitely some running repairs that need doing, so we're going to be doing that over the next couple of days. And we've got our puppets out again. I was very pleased to see these guys. This is Little Toadie. We've got Big Toadie and Little Toadie. And they were the first fabric puppets that I ever made.
Oh, yeah,
I realised.
they were, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's exciting to be getting back to that show. That's going to be really fun. And we've been through the script over the last couple of days and just given it a little
tweaks.
Yeah, a couple of little tweaks just to tighten it up a little bit. And we will have a look at all of the set and all the bits and pieces for it and make sure that nothing needs repairing, or repair it if it does. So yeah, it's good to be back to that one, and it's exciting to be taking Gulliver out. I think that it's been really nice to have a few days to reflect on the Fringe, and also to have a look back at some of the recordings that we did, because we did manage to stick a camera up a couple of times just to get a quick recording for ourselves, really, of the show in Edinburgh. And as we said before, we've been working on it for so long that even more so than ever, I felt, you really couldn't see the wood for the trees by the time we went to perform it. We were kind of pleased with the look of it all and excited to show it to people, but you really weren't too sure what they were going to make of it.
No, it was strange actually, because I do definitely feel that that was a really strong feeling. And because I think you're right, I think it's because we started it in 2019, thought we were going to be doing it in 2020, and then obviously it had this much more protracted period of creation, as it were.
And I think that means you've really had time as well to go back over some of the details and to pick over some things and to change them and then look at them again. And so, yeah, you're really, more than ever, you're in amongst it and you can't really judge it anymore.
No.
So the reaction from audiences while we were there was obviously fantastic, and I really enjoyed. It's a really enjoyable show to do. It's a fun journey to go on, and the reactions from the audiences are great while we're there. You know, we had some really nice crowds and really nice responses. But then the other funny thing is that obviously we had great reviews and stuff as well. We watched one of those videos the other day, and we put it on just to see whether it was usable and to see
what the quality was like.
Yeah, we didn't have any plan to watch the whole show, but we did. I don't know, is this kind of, are we blowing our own trumpet here? But we started watching it, and then we just were engaged and then watched the whole thing.
It was quite nice. We enjoyed it. I hate watching myself. Really don't like it, but we've had to get used to that a little bit sometimes when we go back to shows and we haven't then got the director in, and so we don't direct ourselves, we try and direct each other because that is more helpful. But nonetheless, so you do have to get used to it. But actually maybe I just got over that now because I just watched the show for the show. I wasn't really watching it.
It was really good. It was really good to watch it and enjoy it without having the usual, because when we watch the stuff from rehearsals, obviously we're examining it and judging it and looking for things that might need tweaking or might need changing.
Well, we're usually looking at it for puppetry.
Yeah, well, for all kinds of things, you know, for everything, for movement, for transitions, for puppetry, all of that stuff. Whereas for this, having come back and knowing that the show had gone down so well, we could just kind of watch it and enjoy the shapes and the pictures and the stuff that was going on.
I suppose also you forget, because for us, we had Adam Lenson in again to help to direct Gulliver with us, and so we were always, the good thing about that is that when you've got somebody who has that director role, you trust that if you're making a good picture, they will say so, and then you go, okay, brilliant, we'll keep that then. But consequently, you don't really necessarily see it. So there are a lot of images that we make, I think, maybe even more so for me than you, I don't know, because I'm standing behind them often. I didn't know what they look like. I trusted Adam that they looked good, and it's nice to see because it's sort of like, oh, that does look really cool. And the thing that took us ages to make spin does actually really add something to the scene, and so that was really gratifying actually.
So that's been really nice, and it means that I'm excited to take it on tour now as well. I'm excited to have, to take it to a few more places and share it with a few more people, and also to, as we will be doing in October, to take it back to the Clark Library, because they obviously commissioned it so long ago now, and judging by the reactions from everybody else, I think I hope they're going to be really pleased by it. So I'm really excited to take it over there to show it to them.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I don't know. I don't know how much more to say about the Fringe now. Really, it was an interesting Fringe. I can't, to be honest, the vlogs that we made while we were there, because it does feel like you're in another world. I actually can't remember exactly what we said.
No.
So perhaps we will look over those at the risk of repeating ourselves, see what we said, and then if there is anything that we haven't mentioned that we want to, we might do a separate one about that.
Yeah, sure.
I think
the crucial thing really was that it was different than it has been in previous years.
Without a doubt.
Which was to be expected. Obviously, the first one back after the break and with everything that had been going on was always going to be an unusual one. And obviously it was, and I think there were a lot of kind of peaks and troughs as far as audience numbers were concerned. Certainly weren't necessarily the same number of people around at all times.
No.
But I think the one thing that we should say is thank you so much to everybody who came, and everybody who supported us in general, and everybody who's kind of watched stuff and helped us share the word about the show, because we were very fortunately, I don't know, is insulated maybe the right word to some degree? I think
that's quite a good word.
Because where other shows perhaps that didn't have the sort of regular audience that we are fortunate to have, like for example, if it was a show's first time to the Fringe, then I think they probably felt that peak and trough a lot more. When there weren't people around, they were struggling more because there simply weren't people there to get the numbers in. Whereas fortunately for us, because there are people who are, some fantastic audience who come back and have seen us before and who help us then to get the word out and tell other people, we were very fortunate and had a solid audience almost every single performance. And obviously we filled it a few times as well, which is brilliant.
I think we definitely, the loyalty of our audience was really very noticeable this year.
Yeah.
And we were so grateful for that.
And it's nice to know that they come back and continue to enjoy the work. And we had loads of people say, "Oh, this is the best one yet. We love this, and this was great."
Really
so
nice.
yeah,
Always
it is
really nice.
really gratifying, and we're very grateful to them for coming.
Yeah. So I think that's all there is to say about that for now, really. Like I said, at the risk of repeating ourselves of what we said before. So this week, back to Willows. Tweak a few bits.
Yeah,
then we're into rehearsals.
All the dates for the tour
are
up on the website. So if you didn't manage to catch Gulliver, you can see whether it's coming anywhere nearby, and obviously Willows as well. All the dates for that are also up on the website, so you can have a look and see if you can join us anywhere, which would be lovely.
As always, thank you very, very much for watching. Please do give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, ask any questions you like. Now that we're back and we're actually sort of here, we can answer your questions better than when we were at the Fringe. So if you do have any questions, please do let us know. And welcome, as always, to our new subscribers. It's lovely to have you. And we will see you next time.